Hi, my name is Neddy Perez. I'm the Global Head of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at McCormick. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm going to talk with you about what are some of the competitive advantages of a diversity, equity, and inclusion um, program or initiative, and what are the things that you should look for. So, to me, essentially, I've been doing this work now for over 28 years in multiple companies and multiple industries, really around the globe, um, in different regions of the world, whether it be the Western Hemisphere or the Eastern Hemisphere. And so, I've had the opportunity of working with some amazing talent around the globe. And so, the things that I'm going to share with you are things that I've learned over the years and that I consider best practices. So, if you are embarking on creating from scratch a diversity, equity, and inclusion initiative, the first thing I can tell you is once you get in the door, assess, assess, assess. Make sure that you understand the company's policies, protocols, processes that are in place that affect things like the talent acquisition process, that affect how individuals get rewarded and acknowledged in the organization. How do they advance through the organization? Also, understand your supplier diversity initiatives. Get to know the marketing organization of the company to assess who are the clients and the customers that your organization is appealing to. So, once you have a holistic view of the demographic data and also the information about the organization and how it operates and flows, that becomes your foundational piece to developing and executing a strong diversity, equity, and inclusion plan. The next part is to really engage. Before you start, make sure you take time to get to know the senior leadership, get to know what's on their mind. What are their personal philosophies and values around diversity, equity, and inclusion and belonging? And also go a little bit deeper, talk to the middle managers, find out what's on their mind. Are they an organization that is running up against timelines and deadlines all of the time where people don't feel that they have time to focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion, or don't really see the value of that work? Make sure that you've got a read on where people's minds are when it comes to growing and developing talent. If they don't understand that turnover is a huge factor in the organization every time they lose valuable talent, such as female talent or ethnically diverse talent or other talent, then there's a disconnect that you're going to have to work to close. The next piece would be once you connect with individuals, begin to formulate your plan and strategy that takes a look at the organization holistically. First critical part is how is talent coming through the organization from a talent acquisition perspective? How is then talent moving through the organization from a promotional perspective all the way to advancement of other and inclusion in other rotational programs or assignments that allow people to build the muscle that they need in order to be successful in leadership roles in the future. So that piece around talent acquisition, talent management, those are two big critical chunks in understanding who's getting promoted, when are they getting promoted, and how are they moving through the organization. The last part of that is understanding turnover so that you can understand who is leaving the organization and why are they leaving the organization, and are there things that you can proactively do. Beyond these three pieces, the next areas of focus are what are the policies and processes that are part of your HR organization that is potentially hindering the advancement of ethnically diverse and or female talent in the organization. So employee ambassador groups or employee resource groups provide a great opportunity for people to come together and learn informally about different cultures, about different aspects of the diversity space. Getting these groups together also allow you to build allies in the organization, individuals that are going to champion for causes and or resources to help support and sponsor and provide training and awareness around different aspects and dimensions of diversity in the organization. Once you have employee groups in place and are leveraging them to help with your talent acquisition work, helping leverage them to educate them about how to move talent through the organization or how to position themselves for success in the organization. Other ways you can engage them is to go out and serve as mentors and or champions internally of other individuals in the organization that may be seeking guidance around career advancement opportunities. Beyond those areas, some of the other things that you should be looking at are your supplier diversity efforts. What is the organization doing in order to ensure that when it is buying products and services and items that the organization needs to operate, are those dollars that are being used to spend with other potential service providers or vendors? Are they also being used in a way that supports ethnically diverse organizations, such as smaller businesses that are owned by women, African American, Hispanic, Asian, military veterans, or people with disabilities, or the LGBTQ community? A lot of corporations that do corporation to corporation business oftentimes look to each other to make sure that there is at least a 10% spend in overall supporting small businesses in the local community and or on a national level of businesses that may be minority women owned businesses and or veteran or disability owned businesses. So once you have your plan formulated, measurement becomes really critical. And that is working to build goals and objectives into your management team's performance goals. Beyond that, it's looking at how are you building supplier diversity goals into the managers that are making buying decisions objectives. And also, once you get a little bit further ahead, running and doing a diversity, equity, and inclusion survey to get feedback from your employees about how is your journey going? Do they feel that there is progress being made? Where do they feel not supported? Do they feel respected in the organization? Do they feel that their input when they raise ideas and recommendations, that their input is being considered? Do they feel that managers and leaders are really holistically looking at who they're advancing? And are you going to the right places to attract talent? Getting that kind of feedback directly from your employees becomes really valuable. So I would say make sure early on you assess the organization to identify the areas you can drive improvement in. Make sure you engage individuals at every level of the organization. Senior leadership often is looked to as the individuals that are key to driving change. But the reality is the middle managers hold the key to driving change at the largest level of the organization. And then make sure that you're measuring results in order to then be able to show the impact of the work that you've accomplished through your diversity, equity, and inclusion journey. This is Neddy Perez. I'm glad to be here with you today, and I hope that these tips will help you in building your most competitive diversity action plan.